Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. I've been dreading this box a little bit. My customer Zed said he had been putting together a box of carbs that wouldn't rebuild properly, leaked down too much, whatever. There are 7 carburetors in here. And I don't know that I have enough patience to do all 7 in one setting. So we'll see. That's a lot of damn carbs even for me. We'll start with the Zama because he mentioned that one in his note. Blah, 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 blah. All of the carbs have a leak down that's not acceptable. The worst one is the HK. Great. The Zama leaks down 3 psi a minute. Actually, I think that I'd be okay with that. The HK is missing the little screen. It fell out when I rebuilt it, and I don't know where it goes. Kit enclosed. That must be what's left. Okay, here we go. Alright. Well, when I feel like going to the HK and beating my head against the wall, it's not one of my favorites. Let's see what the Zama's doing. Okay, well that actually is leaking down fairly quickly. I agree. Not my idea of correct. Let's see. Okay, it's the gasket. At least it appears to be. I mean, it's obviously leaking there. Okay. And it slows down as the pressure goes down. Alright. Well, if that's the case on all of these, that's not abnormal. It's not great that the new kits do that. Yeah, see, it's slowed way down when it gets below, what is it, down to about 5 psi. Well, what we're going to try, trick I've used before, some manufacturers, and I don't know if Zama's one of them, but they actually recommend soaking these gaskets in fuel before installing them in order to get them to swell up a little bit. I'm not going to do that. And I'm almost out of this stuff. Damn. Okay. High-tack gasket sealant. I've actually had good luck with that. I don't think I've got enough left in that can to do that much stuff. Hey, get out of here. I'm making a video.
Oh, okay.
Don't come tearing out here, you little twerps. I don't even want to know what they were up to. Alright. Well, the shape of this block in relation to the gasket, it sure is goofy. I'm really questioning this. That lines up almost. That looks okay. But this opening right here, I don't take enough of these Zamas apart. doesn't look right. I don't think I've got one in my parts bin to compare it to. Well, let's see. There we go. All right. God, I wish those kids would quiet down. Well, it's time for them to go back to school. Well, that's what it's showing in that book. Maybe I shouldn't have questioned it, but it just looks goofy. Though it fits. But we'll put it back together and we'll do a leak down test. See if we got it. Alright, let's see. Love it when my little insert does that. Remember at the head of this video I said I don't know if I have the patience for this many carbs in one day. I can guarantee I don't. Especially now that things like that are going to be happening. Alright. Pretty rock solid. Really rock solid. If I can get this thing to go back together without a major release, we'll call this one a win. Quicker than I would have expected. Say these gaskets are porous until they swell a bit, and fuel will make them swell. I don't know anybody who has the time though to plan ahead and soak the gasket. I mean, maybe if you've got the project in mind. Plus, if it ever dries out, I don't know. I don't know if it would leak again, if it could dry out again enough to do that. This gasket sealant is my preferred way to deal with this kind of nonsense. So from the high, what the heck's it gone down to? About 12 to 8 in the time it's taken me to put this together, plus I bumped the needle at least once. I'm gonna call that good. That's pretty good. Okay, one down. I guess I better bag these so that I know that they've been done. Now some of these, Ed was looking for check valves. And that video I did a couple weeks ago of cutting some, I'm super stoked with that. Oh, that's the Tilly. I ain't touching that right now. No way. Those tillets and HKs are unnecessarily complex in my estimation, and I don't want to deal with it today. Oh, wow. I can see this one moving. I can also see a buildup of grease and sawdust in the atmospheric vent holes here, so that's not cool. I mean, it's not abnormal for them to get dirty like that, but you gotta get this stuff cleaned out when you have it apart. see what we got cooking here. Huh. Must just be remnants, because it's actually pretty clean under there. Alright. Yeah, that lever's just a smidge high. I can see it sticking above the deck. If I do the flat drag, see that? It just hit. Right there. You should be able to drag this all the way across and not move it. So that's the problem in all likelihood with this one. But we're going to go ahead and check that check valve while we got this thing apart. Because I don't like doing this more times than I need to. Ooh, that spring got munched on installation too. That, I don't think that's going to work. It's too distorted. Alright, let's check this valve. Good news there, rock solid. Nothing wrong with that bad boy. I don't know if I'm going to get lucky. Okay, well, that's where the fun comes to an end right there. I have got to find a spring that's not all jacked up. See what I mean? Thing is all munched out of shape. Spring rate is changed on it a little bit. And I mean, since I stretch them sometimes, that's maybe not the worst thing, but yeah, these parts are getting harder to find. Well, I'm going to bend this damn lever down a little bit. That should have gotten it. We will try putting it back together, and I'll see if I like the results. But if that doesn't line up right, nah, can't do it. That spring is too jacked up, so I'm gonna have to try and locate one. See how this goes. Okay, I think I found one that'll work. So, technically for the Zama that we just worked on, but they're the same basic carb, the same basic properties on the same engine. So we're going to gamble and hope. Well, that didn't go well. Get out of there. I'm going to gamble and hope that it works. Won't take long to figure it out. Make sure before you push that down all the way that that spring index is in there properly. Otherwise, you could mess up a spring just like that other one was goofed up. I bent that down too far. But that doesn't bother me a bit. It's a lot easier to fix when it's assembled here than it is to bend it down. That should go a little bit higher. Okay. Go with that. Do my drag test. Just ever so slight. Let's see. That's what I was afraid of. It's going to be a pain. Zama must have a different spring rate. This sucks. This really sucks, folks. Not happy about this. I am just about out of options here. My friends, is an OEM Walbro spring. And it might just be my last one. For years, whenever I got Homelight branded carburetor kits, I kept them for moments like this. That looks a lot better. Way more tension. Geometry on the Zama must be different in order for that spring to actually work. Alright, take two. That's a nice little leak down. Question is from... Oh, that was my hose that was doing that. Almost time to trim the end of that hose. That's funny. Hose leaks a little bit. A little bit of a leak there. Pretty damn slow, though. Yeah, there's more leak at my little hose adapter there than there is anywhere else. I'll call that one good. Assuming I can get this assembled without it releasing. That's the final test. Getting these 4 screws tight. I'm trying not to... Damn it. Yeah, I'll have to cut the end of that hose off. It's pretty bad when you've used a pressure tester enough that your hose end is getting wallered. Or maybe it's good? I don't know. You guys decide. Okay. Get this into a spot where it's not. Okay. Barely nothing when it gets below 6 right there, and I'm not jostling around that hose. Okay. We're going to call another one good. And I'm going to take a break. There are still 5 carbs to do in there. I'm not going to do them all on cam. The idea with this was, you know, I'm looking at carbs that somebody else has looked at, and the first thing I'm going to do is pump them up and try and duplicate the issue. You know, in this case, Ed said they won't hold pressure. Okay, that's the first thing to do. See if I can duplicate that situation and figure out why. Both of those, it was fairly easy. This HK, yeah, we'll see. I hate these cars, but we'll see. That's an SDC off of a McCulloch. Probably a 1010 or something. That could even be earlier. It's an SDC2. This one's going to be a McCulloch one also, I think. But that's a Zama. No, that's an SDC. What am I smoking? So I'll end up checking those out. That hold pressure. A Walbro HDB. Okay. Couple of HDBs. Those will be off of McCulloch's too, I think. And yeah, we'll just see. Like I say, it's kind of fun, kind of frustrating sometimes with carburetors, but you know, it's very satisfying to take one that's not working and finally get it right. So, fun little video, I hope.